Hello, people. We are back again for that time of day or time of night, actually, I guess, but time of day, time of night, where we're going to talk about a little bit of Liverpool, about our favorite club in the world. Hope everyone is doing well out there. It's going to be a good show, obviously. I like to think all of our shows are good shows, but a couple of things to go over. We went over a lot of things yesterday about the match that we saw. But I just wanted to make sure I welcome back all that are joining us, whether you're joining us on X or if you're joining us on YouTube. I appreciate that you guys are here and supporting the movement that we have going. I would say that today's today's show is a little bit about what happened in that preseason matchup because I've heard some different takes. Shout out to Quasi and JK and Zabiri. They were on earlier on Quasi's show. And I also know that we were talking backstage, me, JK, and Lee, and we're talking about some of the different opinions that people have on this team or on certain players particularly. And it is kind of wild. It's only one game, and it's one preseason game, and it's also a matchup that saw a lot of exclusions and a lot of players that we probably won't see much of other than in preseason, But all the same, there is this Liverpool team is moving, I guess you could say, in two very different directions. On one side, you have Alexander Isak, you have Florian Wirtz, Ryan Gravenberg, they finally joined Iraola'S group in Chicago, in the Windy City, as this is affectionately called. And three established first-team players are back, and all three could potentially be involved against Wrexham in New York, NYC, the Big Apple. I guess we're dropping all the nicknames. But on the other side, you have Joe Gomez, who has suffered another injury. And this one exposes maybe a serious problem in Liverpool's squad that we have to address. That's why yesterday's topic was basically, I think personally, that our need for a center half is greater than our need for a right wing. And two things can be true at the same time. But what I am saying is there is a definitive need for a center half in a team that is going to be going into this season with a bunch of youth academy players that are beyond talented. I think we have a fantastic group. But there's by no means and no way that you're going to trust going into a season with them as your backups. With that said, we then have a center half group that has an established Joe Gomez, has a Leone that is not even fit enough to be part of the preseason matches, but is working his way back to fitness to be a part of the club. And we have a Jeremy Jacquet, who the team is taking very, very precautious means in making sure that he is ready for his return to everyday football. It's a shoulder injury, but they are definitely still taking precautions. And Gomez was the only senior fully available center back in that game against Sunderland. And Iraola selected him against Sunderland. Now he is awaiting tests on a suspicious muscle problem. Jeremy Jacquet, like I said, is being handled very carefully. Leone has not resumed team training yet. And Virgil van Dijk will not rejoin the team until Liverpool returns to England. So while the attacking options are beginning to look better, the defensive situation is becoming increasingly uncomfortable. And we will examine definitely this coach's plan to maximize what I think is going to be a very, very important portion of our team. That is Isak and Wirtz. it's a portion of our team that when we get into conversations often, I think personally that a lot of people don't utilize the right foundation for the conversation to develop. And what I mean by that is Isak has to be our goal scorer. He has to be the primary goal scorer on our team. And that often is not as often is overlooked by the importance of getting goal scoring wingers. And I don't think that's the importance of where it drives. We need to establish a relationship between Verts and Isak, and we need to have pace and power and be able to have wingers and even fullbacks that open and stretch this field so that it can be a an absolute pinball machine for our center forward Isak. We'll also get to rank. I think my rank. I'll give you my rankings. You can tell me what yours are. I'm sure they're going to be different, but we're going to rank the leading candidates to replace Robbo as vice captain. We're also going to hear directly from, I think, a player that was sometimes overlooked last season, but a player that I think is a fantastic player. I think a player that too often, too quickly, people were trying to push him out the door. But a player that wants to make a real play at making not only a name for himself, because he's already done that, but making a real play for establishing a mark on this team. And I think that is through Federico Chiesa, a player who I think has the right attitude for this upcoming season, as he has insisted that he's happy at Liverpool and considers the beginning of a new chapter with this team. I'm excited. Hope that you are too. If you're joining us again, like I said on X, fantastic. Definitely include yourself in the conversation. Bring out some chats. I'll make sure that they're included so that we can get them involved. If you really want to get involved in the chat, you can definitely come over to YouTube and then involve yourself directly into the chat. It's a little bit easier for you to get involved in the discussion through the chat, through that direction. And if you are watching this on replay, cool, leave a comment for sure. The only thing I always ask is when you do, click on the show, the only thing I ask is click the like. That's you basically, dropping your 2 cents in before you get a seat at the table. So let's begin this. I was hoping that I know that Latte might be. I think Latte might be at work, so he might be most likely listening along. So I'm sure I will hear about it in our group chat. But all the same, this is a segment that he would probably be really, really good at being someone to go back and forth with on, and that is Joe Gomez, injured. Who plays center half for us, basically? Because Joe Gomez was absent from Liverpool's latest training session after suffering a suspected muscle injury. This was obviously in the first 8 minutes of the game, I believe, or something along those lines, that he got the injury, and all of a sudden we are right back at really, really bad place for where and what we have to do with our team. Meaning, we have to figure out where and who we're going to actually be bringing in, and it was a good 4-2 win. I'm not gonna hate on that. I know that, like I said, there's when some might look at the fact that they scored 2 goals on us. That was also a back line that had 2 center halves that were, both the youth academy adjacent players. But the defender, or Joe Gomez at least, is expected to undergo tests before Liverpool can determine the severity of the problem. But even if it this turns out to be a relatively minor problem, and I hope that it is, obviously, the timing couldn't be worse. Gomez entered the Sunderland friendly as the only available senior center half in our team. And um, and um, and also Virgil van Dijk is not scheduled to return to preseason at the until after the preseason concludes for us. Meaning, or not I shouldn't say it concludes, when the American tour of the preseason concludes. And he'll be joined by Ali, he'll be joined by Cody. Giovanni Leone has traveled to the United States, which is great. They brought up is Brian, who definitely blessed us with an appearance on the show a couple of days back, was talking about how this team has brought over some players that are injured, obviously. Eketiké's on this trip, for instance. But there's no, provocation to say that he's going to be playing anytime soon. But Giovanni Leone has traveled to the United States, but again, like I said, he hasn't returned to full training just yet. Jeremy Jacquet is also expected to miss the next friendly for Liverpool. As like I said, I think that this team is definitely taking precaution. They know how important it is to have Jeremy Jacquet ready, because he most likely is going to be our starting center half. And that leaves Iraola looking at a remarkably young and inexperienced group of alternatives if he's not. If Ifeanyi and Duque, Mortal Nadai, both 18 years old, talented players. And players that certainly need to be groomed into being players to be a part of the conversation of future, but not the present. Luke Chambers, 22. But I don't even know if he's naturally someone that you would choose to bring in as a center half, because he's more of a left back. Obviously, you have Endo. Shout out to Wataru Endo. He could help once he returns, but he has also been unavailable to train fully as he's working his way back from the injury that he had worked his way back from, but then had a little bit setback and then knocked him out of the World Cup. And now you also have maybe Ryan Gravenberg. I know he could be a short-term center half solution. We saw him be that for us on occasion last season. But it's not the way that we want to see Ryan Gravenberg be utilized in this team. Grav has the height, he has the composure, he's technically quality. When the ball's at his feet, he can step into midfield during the Liverpool's during our build-up, and his experience as defensive midfielder gives him definitely a little bit of an advantage to be asked to hold down that role. But let's make an important distinction. Using Gravenberg as a center back for 45 minutes against a Wrexham is one thing. Against a preseason situation is one thing. But entering a season, and I mean a competitive season, because this season is going to be competitive, I believe that there is massive, ample opportunity for us to make a real title charge. I'm not just saying that because I'm a loyal Liverpool fan. I'm saying that because You look at this at the playing field of what's left in the Premier League. Manchester City without their main man as their coach. Still a lot of the components of players that were there before, but some very big names, that notable names that they called on for deliverance and leadership are gone. Arsenal are a team that, again, I call it haram ball, but I mean, like, hopefully the Premier League's not going to be a playing field for Stoke FC 2.0. Chelsea is, I don't know, just Chelsea's just I don't know, roll the dice when it comes to whatever Chelsea's trying to bring out. And then you have obviously your Manchester Uniteds, and you have your you want to say Hotspurs, considering the amount of movement they've made in the off season. I just think moving Gravenberch into defense also removes arguably one of Liverpool's better, if not, I wouldn't say best defensive midfielders, but definitely one of our better options on this team for DMs. And he is been obviously influential in that role before. But preseason is a time for experimentation. We all know that. It's not a time to convince ourselves that an emergency solution has permanently be fixed by what you see on the pitch. We're going to see players play in roles that they might not be exactly comfortable with, but they're going to be roles that we're going to at least be able to see them experimented in that role for us. So I'll ask the chat, or ask you to say this in the comment section. Would you start Ryan Gravenberch at center half, for instance, against Wrexham? Or would you give one of the young defenders the opportunity to start? Because the big question is, what kind of momentum do we get out of this preseason? What kind of momentum can we build from this preseason? And that is immensely, immensely important. And I guess the larger question is, does the Gomez injury prove that we still need another senior center half before the transfer window closes? I think that is a easy answer. Excuse me. That's a very easy answer. And I guess we will see if we do prioritize the center half role, or if we do maybe bring in this conversation of what is being told now with the Barcola role too. In the sense of, we're going to maybe go for Barcola with a absolutely, if the number is the number that's being reported as being the number that we're going to possibly pursue him at, it is an absolutely ridiculous number. I just don't understand why and how football has gotten to this level, where a good player, I am not saying Barcola is not a good player. He is a fantastic player, but he is not a break the English Premier League, break the English Premier League transfer record player. He just isn't. I wouldn't have even. Isak wasn't, in my opinion. But yet here we are with another situation. And it's a really interesting situation. I actually have a couple of different perspectives that again, maybe it's just me being, proactive, and also maybe thinking. I like to sometimes think outside the box, obviously. And what I have been thinking is, maybe if Barcola wasn't the guy that we went for, maybe we pursue a different route towards achieving the end goal, which is creating a starting 11 that we're all comfortable with. Graham thinks I'm starting to see the chat now. Graham thinks we should have gone for Anthony Gordon, not Isak. And hello to Norm, by the way, and hello to Graham, and hello to everyone else that's joining us, by the way, as well. I don't know if I'd go that far. I'd rather probably have seen us go for Bruno as a player from Newcastle than Anthony Gordon. And I know that's not like for like in the sense of that's not a winger that I'm speaking on, but I just think that if I was going to go for a player from Newcastle, I would have probably prioritized Bruno G, because I think he would have been a fantastic DM for us if we were to utilize him as a DM. He's physical. He's a player that can score. He's a player that can help link up play, and I just don't want to see him. Also, I just don't want to see him end up going to Manchester United. But again, and everyone knows I don't like Gordon anyway as a player. But it got me to thinking, what is the direction forward for this team? Because I've seen some of the conversation. I mentioned Quasi's show earlier. Shout out to Quasi Bold as always. My San Francisco brother, holding it down in the Bay, E40 style. And yeah, what a goal scorer. Yeah. It would have been interesting if we'd gone for Haaland, to be honest with you. It would have been very interesting if we'd gone for Haaland. We had an opportunity to go for Haaland, but I mean, like, realistically, there wasn't any way that Haaland was going to be looked at as being the player to be the starter for this team at that time. And I meant, but this is before the whole Dortmund thing, because I'm almost positive. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm almost positive that he was on that same what was the hold on, let me double check on this. I'll double check myself on this one. How about that? I want to make sure I'm not wrong on the point that I'm about to bring up. Let me see. I'm gonna do a little 6 degrees of bacon to get there. So I think he played with Minamino. When did Minamino play with Haaland? I think they played together on the same team. 2019 calendar year is when they played on the same squad, and we ended up going for Minamino. I mean, I love Takumi Minamino. Is definitely a cult hero in my opinion. I love Takumi, but I would have definitely taken Haaland as well. With all the same, that's just I just ran into a Manchester City fan earlier, and I had to talk about Haaland in a nice light, not to get into an argument with the guy. So, it's as far as best I will say it. Norm says balance is what's important here. In his opinion, Minta would give us that. If is he as good as Barcola? But he doesn't have to be. Okay. I'm going to speak on something. This next segment that I have coming up is a segment that I think that people, again, a lot of the conversations that have been out there haven't been really focusing on. I think that the perspective on a lot of people is that it's similar to what Norm is pointing out. He doesn't have to. Our next winger does not have to be Mohamed Salah 2.0. He does not have to be a goal-scoring menace. Does he? Would it be nice to have the ability to score goals at the level that Mohamed Salah? Sure, absolutely. No one's going to turn their hand away from that. But what I am emphasizing when I say that I think something that the conversations are missing, not necessarily on this, certainly not on this channel. I love this channel. That's why I'm having the conversation. But on other channels is we need to get it out of our psyche, out of our frame of thinking that goal scoring has to occur from our wingers. I'm not saying that goal scoring can't occur from our wingers. I'm not saying we shouldn't have the ability to score from our wingers. But what I am saying is I would like to see an emphasis of returning to, call me old school, but I would love to see the emphasis return to a center forward scoring the goals. And that's what I want to see coming up in this next season. I want to see Isak have a return to being Alexander the Great. And that's what I'm emphasizing on. I'll get into that into this next segment on Isak and Florian Wirtz. But let me see something too. Graham is asking, big up Graham too. Do you think Wirtz will become good? I think Wirtz will become good under this pretense. He now will have two coaches in his life that have very similar philosophies when it comes to football. Didn't say exact, didn't say mirror image, but I'm saying very similar philosophies. And when Florian Wirtz leaves on international break to go play with Klopp, it'll be a continuum of what he most likely will be asked to do for this team. And you will have two coaches now. You'll have two coaches that are definitely well situated, well versed, well experienced in developing talent. We all know Jurgen Klopp develops talent immensely, and we all know that, honestly, Iraola does the same. And I think that could bring about the next level in Florian Wirtz's game. Norm says, I suppose what he's trying to say is that not every player in the side has to be world class. Only his humble opinion, of course. And I'm agreeing with you, Norm. That's what I'm thinking. That I don't think that's, you have to be humble in saying that. I know people all want world class players in every position on the pitch. Fantastic. Doesn't happen. This isn't a video game, but that's what people want. But the reality of it is that you want players to be able to contribute to the best of their abilities that pushes the needle for our team to be successful. And I think that we have certainly quality players. If those quality players buy into this system, a return to, again, a system very close to Jurgen Klopp's, we will see a difference in intensity, in results, in performances. And that's massively important. Massively important. Where I was going to say is this. Right now, let me bring up this as well. I'll bring up there is, whoops, sorry about that. Just pushed the wrong button. Sorry, I might have frozen for a second. Yeah, that's it. Okay. there's been a lot of questions. I've seen um, Brian do a whole bunch of different scenarios with a lot of his guests. I know he's got a recycling or a resurgence of, or not resurgence, a rotating cast of people that join him on his show. So I don't know that all the names, other than the names I'm familiar with, obviously from being on this show. But I know JK made a team. I didn't get to see JK's team, but I know that he had a couple of people. He had his own, I believe, um, and it got me to thinking of like, you know, going into this next season. Hypothetically, we don't get Barcola because I don't want to see us get a Barcola for 130 million or 140 million or whatever they're talking about. I just honestly don't think that it's worth that. Big up Jimmy, by the way. Pick up, pick up. No worries, Jimmy. I understand everyone's got to do what they got to do, and I hope that work's going well for you. I hope that life in general is going well for you, and just know that we do miss you here at the show. So it's good to see you back, by the way, Jimmy. Um, what I was saying is, this is just again me speaking out the just completely thinking outside the box. So when I show you this scenario, do not hate on me. Please just allow for it to just simmer in, just have an open mind. Now, we're going on to this new season, and it got me thinking of, well, what could our team actually look like? What could be the team that we see go out there and play every day? And it got me to thinking that I'm not to be as bold as to say that some of these scenarios could be the are going to definitely hands down going to be the definite situation. But it got me thinking, and I thought about this as a starting 11, and I was like, hands tied. I have to decide on the starting 11 from the players that we have currently. Who's that starting 11 going to be? Now, I know there are some names that could be swapped out here, and especially if we get other additions, obviously this or that, we can make those additions and make those necessary changes. But it got me thinking. Now, I'm not sure if hopefully it's the image is large enough for you to be able to see the players. I can actually make it a little bit larger. I'm just taking off the screen for a second. But this is at least what I'm speaking on. And it got me thinking. Now you'll notice a couple players that I know I'm sure people will not be that sold on. But it got me thinking of something that I wanted to see when Mohamed Salah was here that we just unfortunately didn't get the opportunity to see. And that was Dominic Szoboszlai maybe playing as our right wing option. Now, it's again, it's thinking outside the box. I understand that people are going to not necessarily want to see that or be all about seeing this lineup. But why I even would somewhat even propose something like this? Let me see if I can get this thing back down here. Okay, hopefully I did. Why I'm even slightly proposing this concept is because when you really think about our team, unless you play Gravenberg unless you play Thomas Szoboszlai in that pivot with Grav, who I think is going to be Grav is going to be our starting midfield. But you have to decide on what and who's going to be surrounding that midfield with him. If you have Dominic Szoboszlai there, I'm not mad at you. It's a midfield that I'm comfortable in having And having Grav and Dom as the pivot would be still I think a very formidable pivot to have. You could have obviously you could have Grav being able to fall back into that back line, play and help out defensively, or even if he necessarily needed it, he can go forward as well. But what I thought about is there's going to be a very, very concerted effort to figure out how to get Dominic Sabasli and Florian Wirtz and Gravenberg and possibly even McAllister all on this lineup. And I thought about what it could make and how we can make it work. And I thought about the fact of one thing that we didn't see quite a bit out of because Salah didn't do much of it, and that is pressing. Munoz likes to press. Sabasli likes to press. If we obviously know that there's going to be resurgence of press, of the counter press coming to this team, coming back to this team. We know that we need players that are going to be committed to pressing, committed to that plan. I think personally that Dom Sabasli and Munoz up top could be a significant enhancement to our front line. Dom Sabasli, obviously, he can play well enough that he has pace. I'm not saying he's lightning fast, but I'm saying that he is fast. He has certainly got the endurance to be able to be relentless, and would cause a lot of players to certainly have to be problematic when it comes to defending him. He is definitely going to be able to have the ability to, with this endurance, be able to track back. If anything, we could see a resurgence of maybe someone that could give us a little bit of what Mane did in tracking back and giving defensive cover, because they've got endurance and speed and the talent to get back and up and down the pitch. And then you look at Munoz. I'm excited to see what Munoz can bring. That left side, I think that left side is less vulnerable than people make it out to be. I put Munoz on this starting lineup simply because I'm looking at power and pace to be brought back to this team. I'm looking at someone that will be able to stretch the pitch, be able to get assists off, be able to, again, create and facilitate Isak as the tip of the spear. And if you look at this lineup, you will have Kirkes, fast fullback, Frimpong, fast fullback, Munoz, fast winger, Sabasli, fast winger. You'll have pace on those wings. You have two players, Munoz and Sabasli, that are defensively astute. And maybe I'm putting a little bit too much trust and faith in McAllister. I get that. I get it. But I really think that we could see something of a difference if this was at least the starting lineup. There's ways to go about this too when it comes to the League Cup or FA Cups. I did say that I'll show you real quick. There's ways to go about it. And there's also ways to go about, what the lineup would look like, even if we were to have Barcola join the team. I'll show you the lineups. This was the lineup that I had for possibly the cup teams. And I would have Rio on the right, Cody on the left, Elliott in the middle. Isak doesn't necessarily have to start. I took these as screenshots, so I can't change them on the fly. But I mean, like, if we were to go for a player, I'd love to see us go for like a Waltamade, be able to bring him in as our striker for this lineup at least. Being the tip of the spear, he's certainly more of a player that could fit that center forward mold of what we would like to see. Um, if you look at it, I know the back line is the same. That would be probably flushed out. Maybe have Ramsey. You could have maybe Simicast as our left back. I'd love to see Virgil van Dijk get rest in this situation. So hopefully we'll have Leone back by that time, and he could play alongside Jacquet. Marmadashvili could be obviously the goalkeeper on that run, and a player that I have. He's not really highlighted, but he's right here. Bajcetic and Leone. Have them as our pivot. I wouldn't mind seeing that. I don't know how you guys feel about that or not, but everyone knows that I'm very high on I rate Leone. And if Bajcetic can get back from being injured, can get back to form, I think Trey Leone and Bajcetic would be a fantastic duo. Fantastic duo to have as your pivot. Not saying for every game, not saying for the Premier League, not saying any of those levels, not saying, oh, this could be our Champions League lineup. That's not even remotely close. But what I am saying is a League Cup game, I would love to see Leone and Bajcetic be given a try to work out being the pivot in our team. I said, this is what it would look like if we were to have Barcola join the team. I have Isak. I have Munoz as our right winger. If it ends up being that way, if I want to utilize that again, pace and power. I want to bring someone that's good at being able to get forward and also being able to press. The reason why I have Munoz there too is because I have Dominic Szoboszlai and Gravenberch in the pivot for those that weren't really feeling what I said earlier with my starting lineup. And this is again being if we were to go and bring in Barcola as a winger, and this is playing him on his more preferred side, the left side. But again, I'm not really necessarily sold on Barcola just yet. But it's what is. Because if you noticed in that, pretty much all the scenarios except for the one where I had Elliott in, our team really, really needed to be focused on one player specifically, if not two. And those two players are tip of the spear, Isak, and the player that Graham spoke on earlier, Florian Wirtz. Those two players have to be the mainstay when it comes to our team. And they're now joining this team now in preseason. They're going to be able to get a little bit of a run. I think both players could maybe see their first appearance in New York City. I think that you'll probably see it more. They won't start the game most likely, but they'll probably play the second half of the game the way that he had it set up in that Sunderland game, which gives some of those supporters in New York City an opportunity to see what we will have with the Wirtz and Isak connection. We've obviously invested a lot of money in Isak, a lot of money in Wirtz. And I will openly admit that neither player has consistently reached the potential of what they're capable of last season. Not even close. Obviously, Isak had plenty of injuries, and Florian Wirtz could be sometimes hit or miss. But 125 million on a striker who spent long periods disconnected from the build-up, who received far too little of meaningful touches inside the penalty area. We need to do something that I've been asking for time and time again. And the reasons why before we didn't really get it before might have been because our wingers are not wired to get a center forward involved the way that we normally see center forwards get involved. But Iraola now has the responsibility of changing that. Positive sign is that he appears to have entered the job with a detailed understanding, I think, of both players, and I think that that's going to be initially the key. Iraola said his early conversations with Isak and Verts were encouraging. That's what he said, at least in an interview, because they were asking the right questions. They want to understand how the new Liverpool will play, how they fit into the system, and what would be expected from them. I think that matters immensely because the number 9 and the number 10 are central to most attacks, but especially in Iraola'S football. I've been doing a lot of research on how Iraola has been set up to play his system, what his philosophies are, because this is what we're going to be involved in. And that's what we have to focus on. Big up to Red Armchair Supporter. Hope that you're well, brother. And shout out to Jack. Jack 1892. How are you doing? Hope that you're well. Thank you for joining. Definitely. I hope that you are. I hope that you subscribe and join the lads here because we're from all over the world. We represent all corners of the world here. So. There you go. I think I'm the only American in this conversation, to be honest with you. So, at least when it comes to this, everyone else I think is from all over the world. Big up, big up, big up, Jack. Definitely pleasure to have you along the way. Normally we have Scousers part of the conversation on the panel, but it's just me solo today, I guess. A lot of my normal co-hosts are either possibly on other shows right now or just not available. So definitely good to see you. But you're not alone in the chat. There's plenty of Scousers and plenty of just people from all parts of the world joining us. All Reds. That's the most important thing, is that you're a Red. Where I was going with this is that the number 9, number 10 position, I think, are very central. And why I'm bringing that up is because success will not simply be about giving Verts freedom. And it's not just all about telling Isak to go score goals. That's somewhat of a obvious message. But Isak needs to be expected, and this is where it's going to be very interesting. I don't know how you guys feel about it. I don't know if you're comfortable, or if you have faith that this can happen. But Isak will be expected to lead Liverpool's press this season. It's going to be very interesting what happens with it. I don't expect him to have to lead the press the way Bobby does, or Bobby did. I think Bobby is one of the most undervalued and underappreciated center forwards in the football world. One of all time, possibly. Because I think he is truly a great player. And I think that I'm not saying that only because I'm a Liverpool fan, but I'm saying that because of what he did for that front line was immensely valuable. But again, I'm not looking for Isak to be someone that runs like runs around with no real purpose. He's got to learn pace. He's got to learn spacing. He's got to learn when to attack and when not to attack. Because it doesn't mean sprinting towards every defender who receives the ball. That's not how you press. And this coach has stressed that pressing requires organization, it requires timing, and ultimately it requires a collective movement. If one player jumps forward for a second too late or presses an opponent without the rest of the team collectively closing down the available passing lanes, the entire system can be bypassed. And that's why I've always said that, there can be people that go out there and they just run around and just do a bunch of stuff and don't create or fall into making a successful press. You've got to have spacing. You've got to know how to cut off corners and cut off passing lanes. It's important. I'll give you a scenario, or I'll give you an example at least, and you can tell me if you disagree, because it's a player that we saw. Actually, he was a former Liverpool player at one point. Thomas Solanke became an excellent pressing striker, I believe, under Iraola at Bournemouth. He scored goals, he initiated pressure, he created the first line of defense, so much that it got him a move to a Spurs team for an incredible price. Isak has the physical and technical ability to do the same things that we saw from Solanke at Bournemouth. But it will require him to have our patience and will require him to have commitment to learn the triggers. I think Isak wants to do that. I think Isak is at a place in his career, having been set back by those injuries, to recognize that he's put his commitment, or he's put his name and his likeness to be a Liverpool player. And that's got to happen. Versus positioning will be equally important. If he is going to operate behind Isak, again, I'm not saying he can't be on the left side. I know some people want him to be our left wing. I don't understand how that happens, or why people want that to happen, considering, I don't think the left wing is the issue of our team. I know people don't like Cody Gakpo. That's a different story. I do, but some people don't. I know people think that some people are already being way too harsh on Rio. Maybe saying he's not mature enough to play the role. That's what I'm basically hearing. You have Chiesa maybe play on that left wing. We have options. We have definite options for that left wing. I'd like to see him stay central, be a 10. And his positioning is just as important, because if he operates behind Isak, I think that we will need him to close. He would need to operate close enough to combine with the striker. He'll have to operate close enough that defenders will have to choose between him and the striker. When they do clamp down to try to take Verts out, he'll be able to have passing lanes created. He'll be able to maybe bypass players with simple through balls. And once he's able to find those pockets between the opposition's midfield and defense, I think we will see Verts emerge into what people wanted to see happen last season. I think people might call it a dream, but I don't think it's that hard to imagine it happen. Speaking of Liverpool, well, John Lennon. But I just think, and as Isak drops, pulls the center back with him, Verts can attack the space in front of him. Isak runs behind the defense while Verts receives between the lines. Hey, all of a sudden we have opportunities. Both players lead Liverpool's press, and if they do that for us, those wide attacking players will punish, and I mean punish, that back line with pace because they'll be forced into rush passes, rush positions. That is the platform I think Iraola wants to build and needs to build. Question is how quickly these players can turn their slot ball mentality into, I wouldn't call it heavy metal, but it's definitely hard rock, I guess. It's got to be instinctive. They've got to be, you know, uh, a collective, instinctive effort in making a difference in this team's efforts or intensity, I would say, in the press and creating. Because I think honestly, people talk about defense, they talk about offense, they talk about offense more than they talk about defense normally. The best offense is a good defense. If you're able to counter, if you're able to create, you will honestly create opportunities for your midfield, your strikers, especially, all just domino into what you needed to do. Red Armchair Sports saying he's hoping to see the real Isak this season. He looked sharp at the World Cup. He did. Opening up in this him in the beginning of the World Cup, he definitely looked like he was starting to find his rhythm, and that was promising to see. Had an off game or here or there, but I mean, definitely was promising to see. Yeah, answer me this, chat. Which player do you think will benefit more from this change in manager? Do you think Alexander Isak will benefit the most, or do you think that Florian Wirtz will benefit the most? I know you could easily say both will benefit. I'm not saying both won't, but what I am asking is, who do you think will benefit the most? I'm just asking for those two players too, by the way. I know Kirkes is a good shout. Kirkes is a good shout because it could be a return to his, high levels that he was playing at Bournemouth. He's returning to a team once again that turning to a system that he blossomed in. Dara's being cheeky, saying Salah. Pick up Dara. That's a question. Just a question. In the comment section, if you're watching this again on replay, give me a number on how many combined goals and assists you would expect from this pair. I'd love to hear what you guys think of as being the number that it is. But all right, Isak and Wirtz may become obviously, I believe, the prime duo on this team. Faces that Liverpool's new attacking era will love to see blossom. 38. Wow, I like that. 38 combined goal contributions would be fantastic. But before the season begins, Iraola must also decide what will help lead this team. This is a fun little segment here because I'm going to tell you my choices, but I know, and I do know, you guys are definitely not going to agree with all the choices that I have. So, Robbo has departed this team and left for Tottenham. He leaves Liverpool with a vacancy at vice captain. Obviously, Konate, Salah might once have been natural candidates for some, but their departures have created an entirely different leadership picture for this team, and we all know it. Konate was a leader in the locker room. I know that some people don't think so, but he was. People did enjoy Konate as being someone that they could trust. Salah, needless to say, he was the man. But Iraola has already said that a player does not need to wear the armband to be a leader. And I think that is more than true. We all know that. But the official position still matters. You got to hand out fines. You got to be the policeman for the team, when it comes to dealing out, discipline for the players, whether young or old. So the vice captain represents the club when Virgil is unavailable, obviously. He supports the manager. He communicates standards to the squad. He helps connect Liverpool's established players with the next generation. So it got me thinking, because I've seen some lists out there. It got me thinking of who is the most likely candidate. Sure. Go ahead. You can drop. I think you can. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Whoops. You can, but you sometimes with links, you have to be a mod. So what I will do is give me a second and I will make sure I'm going to try to mod you on the fly here, Norm, so that you can put the link in there. One second. Pick up, JK. How are you doing?
I'm good, bro. What are you saying?
Just having a little fun here. Let me trying to let me how can do it on the fly.
Yeah, you could do that. Bless up to the chat, Dara, Red Armchair, Norman as well. How you cool, bro? Good to see you, Jimmy as well. Jack. Nice to meet you, man.
Yeah, there's some new names. There was a Scouser that joined us. His name is Jack. He just joined us.
What part of Liverpool are you from, Jack? We've got a few Scousers. Lee normally is there.
Yeah. Give me another second, or you speak freely, of course. But I'm just trying to get.
I love the.
If you see me looking at something, I'm trying to figure out how to make him a mod real quick.
Yeah, that's cool, bro. I love the background. It looks cool. The background behind you looks really
good. Yeah. There's a talented lad that makes those backgrounds. Yeah.
Nah, it looks cool, bro. What about you? Heard about Henderson and Danny Welbeck going to Chelsea?
I did hear that. What are your feelings on that? Chelsea
need experience, so
they do.
They're looking at them too. Could work. I think Henderson, old head. Chelsea they always look immature. Like they were a good team to a level, but they always seem to lack that bit of wisdom. And I think Danny Welbeck sound. He's got better. More older he's got, the better he's got. You know what I mean? He wasn't this good when he played for Arsenal. Danny Welbeck last season and that. So fair play to him, man. Danny Welbeck's been on the scene for a long time. I know he started off at United and that, hence why we don't like him, whatever. But fair play to him, man. Shows you if you keep fit, good head on top of your shoulders, you can play for a long time.
Yeah. I don't know why I haven't. I thought I already subscribed to Norm's channel, but I just did.
I'll subscribe to Norm's.
Let me see. There's a way to do it. I always prove. Okay, that should do it. All right. So I think you are a mod now, Norm. Let me see.
Slicker than your average.
Yeah. If you put a comment
Red
in,
Armchair's got his Biggie lyrics. I like that.
yeah. I was just about to go into what I believe is going to be the candidates for vice captaincy. Now,
Okay.
I spoke on how, like, with Robbo leaving, there's definitely a need for a player that has similar, similar repertoire as him, or similar. There you go. He just put it in there.
Subscribe to Norman in the chat. Anyone who ain't subscribed, top. He's got old school stuff on there. I check his videos out. He's got the old school stuff on there. It's like top.
Yeah. If you like, I know Jack's new to the channel. If you like stuff that is like, very much the essence of Liverpool, definitely Norm is the guy to ask and to go to, because he is he's got his finger on the pulse for sure. All right, I'm going to give you what I think is my top 5. Okay, and I even have a surprise addition, an honorable mention. But I have top 5. I have a graphic for later, but I'll show it after I'm done. So you'll see. I'll show you the entire list once it's done. But I have at number 5. I have Curtis Jones. I think he represents Liverpool in a way few other players can. He is a Scouser, an academy graduate, a player who understands what the team means to the city. He has already spoken about wanting to follow in the footsteps of Steven Gerrard as an example and captain his boyhood club. Jones has accumulated significant senior experience, I would say, too, while remaining young enough to be part of Liverpool's long-term leadership structure. I think that, like, Curtis Jones, if we were to make a decision to renew his contract here, I believe he still could be a fantastic leader on this team. He's a connection to the young, and he is certainly a respected player amongst those veteran players on our team. Still needs to establish himself as an automatic starter, but he belongs in the conversation. At number 4, I have earmuffs, Norm, for this one, but I have McAllister. I have Alexi McAllister as my number 4 choice. I think McAllister is entering a stage of his career where greater responsibility would make natural sense. He is experienced. He's been a captain before. He was Brighton's captain before he made the move to Liverpool. He's tactically intelligent, capable of building relationships throughout the squad. Has a very, very well-established, I think, role on this team as a player that can make connections with, especially the South American players that I hope that we continue to bring in to this team. When healthy, I think he's one of the first names considered for Liverpool's midfield, honestly. He may not be the loudest personality, but on the pitch, he is vocal. He gets himself involved. He's not scared to throw himself into a challenge or get in someone's face. McAllister can lead through intelligence, consistency, and I believe composure. And I think that he has a lot of those qualities. At number 3, I have possibly the odds-on favorite for a lot of people. Some have this player being the player that needs to be the captain of our team. I do not at the moment. But Szoboszlai. And I think Szoboszlai is, like I said, one of the strongest candidates. He already captains Hungary, understands the demands that come with representing an entire country. It would be no change to take on the responsibilities of representing a global team like Liverpool. His versatility is more than abundantly apparent. He demonstrates a willingness to place the team ahead of his preferred position. For instance, he played in a role for our team that he had no interest in playing, but still did a admirable job at doing so. Iraola has already said Dom must become one of our leaders on this team moving forward, and his long-term future appears obviously connected with this renewal of contract. So appointing him could create a pathway towards eventually succeeding our captain Virgil van Dijk. At number 2, let's see, make sure I get in the camera. At number 2, I have Joe Gomez. Joe Gomez is Liverpool's longest-serving player. He has survived major injuries, changes of manager, intense competition at the role, repeated questions about his future. And throughout all of it, he has remained professional. He has remained a vocal person in the locker room when it comes to having resilience. Gomez has won a lot of people over with that resilience, and I think he has worn Liverpool's armband before and has been trusted by multiple managers. He may be a quiet leader, but quiet leadership can be extremely valuable inside a dressing room. I think the questions concern his availability. I get that. In contract situations, even beyond that. But Liverpool, I say this with all sincerity, we want confidence that the vice captain can play regularly and remain part of the long-term plan. And I know that is something that is going to put a question mark behind him. But in terms of service, in terms of respect, in terms of professional and being a professional, in terms of experience, Gomez has to be a consideration. And last but not least, I have my number 1 candidate for vice captaincy. My first choice is Ali. Some supporters do not like goalkeepers wearing the captain's armband. I'm not against it. Being a goalkeeper in my life, I always wanted to be. I wasn't the captain of my team, but or at least the teams that I played football for, but I definitely was vocal and regarded as a leader on the team. I think the same about Ali. Ali has earned the right to help lead this team. He organizes the defense, demands standards, and commands respect throughout the squad. His close relationship with Virgil van Dijk also could create some continuity in Liverpool's leadership. I guess the arguments against Ali are legitimate. He has experienced he's experienced some things that Gomez has experienced, and that's probably going to be a lot of people's pushback. He's got some injury problems lately. His contract situation could force Liverpool into another leadership transition next summer. But if the appointment is based on who has earned it right now, I think Ali is the strongest choice. Now, I did say and hint that there would be a sleeper. Honorable mention, if you want to call it that. I'm going to call it my troll selection because I'm sure some people are going to react to it. For the outsider, I have a player that many people probably would not think of as being or having a real chance or shot at doing this. But I think that Cody Gakpo should be considered to be vice captain for this team. Cody captained PSV before joining Liverpool. He is calm, he's collective, he's professional, he's team-oriented. I think since Salah's departure, he's become one of Liverpool's most, you could say, established. Certainly, I'd say actually he's the most established winger we have on this team. He's not an enforcer. His leadership style is more composed and understated, I think, when it comes to being someone to count on. But that could complement Virgil very nicely. I think that, the perspective of it all, with his faith and everything else being related to what he does. I would not call Gakpo the favorite to become vice captain. Obviously, he's an out, but he should absolutely be included in Liverpool's wider leadership group, and I think he should be included in a conversation as well. So you can answer yourself. I could maybe even do something that makes that if I brought up a poll, Dara would probably quit the stream. So I'm not going to do that.
But like for me, Trudon smashed it. Sorry, with a question mark.
I saw that. So
when I read that, I couldn't stop laughing, man. Look, bro, I like Gakpo, human being, top lad. He's a very good professional. Let's not quit. He ain't no guy who's gonna embarrass the club, back pages of the newspaper, none of that show business. In that way, definitely worth a mention. But I feel his qualities on the pitch don't sometimes show leadership, and I think because sometimes he goes missing for games, hence why with the other choices, Gomez and say Alisson, very injury prone. So when Virgil's not going to be there, who's going to be there when Gomez and Alisson are injured? So you need another captain as well. So you need like a third captain.
I don't think there'll be that many, and that there won't be that many times that Virgil or Ali will not be, one of the two will not be on the pitch. Even I understand Ali does have a tendency lately to get injured. I'm just saying though, when he is healthy, he is obviously the starter at he is the starter period at goalkeeping. When Virgil's healthy, he is the starter at center half, and there isn't an absolute guarantee that Dom is going to be a starter for every game.
Well,
I'm not saying he shouldn't be, but I'm just saying there's no guarantee that he will be.
Yeah, you know what, bro? Like, I'm not Szoboszlai's biggest fan. I don't think you are really. It's more to do with the flamboyancy he just is as a person and stuff. Yeah, and that's cool, whatever. But on the pitch, he does the business nowadays. After that title winning season, he was our best player last season. There's no doubt about that. The game against Sunderland the other day, he came on the pitch, chested it, bang, goal. So he's on that level of football now. He's hitting prime time. He's got the right sort of what he shows on the pitch shows leadership in that way of how he plays. He don't give up, this, that, and the other. Hence why I think it could be Szoboszlai, bro. Like, because when you look at McAllister there, wasn't great again last season. So for me, the only candidate really is Szoboszlai out of all them lads there. Yeah. Curtis, no, not for me. He probably won't even start games, bro. So I think Szoboszlai's
Oh no, finish your thought. My fault.
Yeah, I just think in Szoboszlai. I'm just trying to think. Look, everyone's left, man. Because when you were talking, I was thinking in my head, where's the old school players gone? Robbo, Salah, you know what I mean? Like, oh, it'll be one of them lads. They're all gone, bro. Arrivederci. So we're on that phase now. This is a major time in Liverpool's sort of world of football right now. And we're in that sort of phase now where we spent big last season. But in the last 2 seasons, Darwin left, Diaz, Salah, Robbo, Kanate. Fucking hell, bro. 3 seasons ago, that was our team. Bang,
Great.
gone.
But that's exactly why I do have an episode that I have in the work tank that I think is going to be controversial, um because I think that honestly I spoke about this on FamZone with Dean and the guys. Like, Liverpool have made a concerted effort to go and make and maybe future proof themselves by bringing in a lot of younger talent. Like, as in, we have certainly some older players, Simicast, Virgil, Ali, I'm trying to think who else, Endo, who else is over? Those players are like over 30 or close to, but like, you know, you're talking about, I mean like, and that's like being a 29 or over. Um, there's only like three, but some of those players, Simicast most likely doesn't have an assured position with the team going forward after the season. You know,
Yeah.
Endo most likely this will be his last year with the team. But if you look at, and then the only other players that are really on that list that are kind of in that advanced age for football terms, it's Ali and Virgil, who I think Ali and Virgil still have a year, if not two, in them to be able to be serviceable. But if you look at our team has gotten extremely younger.
Big
Robo's
time, yeah.
gone, just like you said, like, as in, all these players that were in their 30s or pushing 30 have been moved on from. That's somewhat of an Edwards, perspective.
That's why, have you noticed how he sort of comes in, does whatever, shoots off, and then all of a sudden comes back in again, does a bit of something, and goes off again. He just comes in and tidies up. He's like a cleaning lady.
He's
that lad.
he's the
An
janitor,
expensive
right?
one, but he's a fucking cleaning lady. And I feel last season would have been better if we kept hold of 2 players from all the ones we left. It was too much of a change. You get me, bro? And I think that was Slott's downfall. I'm not sure if that was the club's decision to let all them lads leave and stuff. But at the end of the day, it was the wrong decision, you can't just do that in football. It's too, like Brian was saying earlier about get Barcola, put him on the right, okay, and then use Rio and Gapco on the left with that Spanish lad. And then next season, have a look at that Ryan lad from Bournemouth to play on the right, and Barcola can go on the left, and Gapco probably be sold. And I was thinking, sound. But I'm just thinking as well, he might be extra 30 million then. But at least we know he's going to be a top player, But I just feel like Norm saying in the chat there, when you look at that list, he's written there about we need 2 forward players, 2 centre halves, a right back, and a DM. And for me, that's about spot on, because for me, 2 wingers, definitely. So I'd go Barcola, I'd go Ryan. DM, that's the tricky spot for me. I'd love to find out who you would like, Norman, in the chat, and Dara and everyone. Like DM, like right back, get that Reed lad.
He wants Manu Kone.
Kone? Yeah. I like Kone.
I think Trudon wants what's his name? Kamara, I think his name. Not Kamara.
Yeah, Kamara.
It begins with a C. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know
Charlie
if Trudon's still with us or not.
Charlie Adams. That's what I'm saying, bro. The DM sort of market. Sangare. Okay. And then for me, I like the way Trainee only played the other night. I think what he played, he actually put a slide tackle in on a lad as well. And that made me think, wow, he's going to get stuck in. And this lad, he just progressed in that way. Like, we haven't seen him play football for a while. But every time I've seen him, I noticed one thing about him is his passing.
It is. I'm pretty sure this is him. Lamine Kamara.
Oh yeah,
Camera.
Camera. Yeah.
That's I think that's who Trudon was saying he wanted to see. I'm trying to think who else. I'm trying to think the other. The chat talks. I listen. You guys talk. I hear what you have to say. Do my best to remember. I give you if you guys say something, I give you a shout out. Pick up Mark, by the way. I didn't say hello to Mark.
Oh, bless up, Mark.
Mark and
Mark
Trudon.
had a list of players. If you can read there, he put a chat in about the players he thinks who won't cost a lot. I'll have a quick look. 1 second. He said, let's have a look.
About was it this one?
Yeah, there you go. Liao, he's going to go to Turkey. Kenton Sao, I like him, but not for me. Dewey Spence, like Dewey's Thingy's brother, he plays for Ivory Coast. Good right back. I like him. Spence, yeah.
I think he does. I think he means Dewey. I think he means to do it. I think you're thinking. I think he means. I think
Dewey or Spence at right back.
No. I thought it. I thought he meant.
No, Dewey, the brother.
The Desiree Doué, the French footballer.
Yeah, his brother.
Mm.
The one he plays for right back. He's not
a right back. He's a right winger.
Wait a second. Who's that player who plays for Ivory Coast at right back?
Oh, I don't. On top of my head, I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
It's his brother plays for France. So yeah, it is that Doué, bro. It's that right back Doué. He plays for Thingy, Sangare midfield. Orlando Gill. I'd get Orlando Gill in tomorrow and let Mohamed Ashvili go somewhere else, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Liao's 27, and I don't know, man.
He plays for Strasbourg.
Strasbourg, yeah.
Okay. Or Sangare and Orlando Gill. That's a lot of players.
I'm not sure about Cantansao, and I like Liao. Big fan of his, always have been. But I'm just a bit. He's 27 and he's getting offered to Turkey. Weird. He's a good player. Yeah. Norman likes Amar Dedic. Okay. Benfica. Okay.
I mean, K-Max guy plays. I mean, he went there at a prime moment of his career. Victor Osimhen went there.
I thought he was at Liverpool. Yeah. Yeah, Osimhen.
Yeah, I think Nolante is going to join us for a little bit here.
Look, like we were about Walter Made, we need a striker as well, Norman. We didn't really add that because for me, we can't afford to risk Isaac every game. So we need I think they're going to use Gapco. That's my opinion. They're going to use Gapco as like 9 when Isaac's not going to be playing. I'd love to get a striker in. Even if it is Walter Made, I don't care. Just get a striker in to help Isaac out, you know.
I would like Walter Made. I think so. I would like him, especially at that price that is being reported. Let's see what because excuse me, 50 million. Because I mean, they paid 69 million for him. 69 million. That's like close to like what 90 million euros or something like that. They spent 69 million on him, and they now have a player that they don't trust to hold it down. And I think the only reason why they don't trust him to hold it down is because he didn't blend or mesh well with that Newcastle team.
Mm-hmm.
It's unfortunate because I just think that Newcastle's coach played him out of just did him dirty. Actually,
He did, because he was scoring goals, and then all of a sudden he disappeared, man.
yep.
And I was like, huh?
Just disappeared off it. Yep.
You know, so,
I
and then he
I
tried
don't know
Wissam
why.
and Sula at the end. But what made it for me is the type of striker he would love to play for Liverpool. If you said to him, "Can you play for free?" he'd probably do it. Like,
Yeah,
all I hear, like, I've heard him, "Where do you want to play?" Anfield. Like, come on, you meant to say St James's Park, lad. You know, so yeah, man, get him in. That will give Klopp a bit of German coaching for him and Wirtz. That's another reason why I'm happy Klopp took the German job. He will have Wirtz in September, and you can imagine the chats they're going to have. Listen, lad, you got to do this at Liverpool. You got to do that. Sorted. So happy about that.
I just don't understand why they thought that. Like, again, I do understand that they were pressed to bring someone in. Walter Mate was a hot name at the time, especially since he was looked at as being a player that's going to be, he's going to be one of the strikers for Germany. He was also a player that was like really making some ground in the Bundesliga, and um, and they had just lost their talisman in Isak. I get that they needed, and at the time, Visa was still, on again, off again with the amount of interest that he was going to be moving to Newcastle for, but they had to figure out a way to make a splash and bring someone in. And then the reality of it is that they apparently had the player there the entire time with Asula. That's how you pronounce his name, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the
That
madness of
was
it.
they're looking to start him as their point
Yeah, he's a good
of
player. I think he's good.
offense. I know I've been talking about Newcastle quite a bit lately, but that's just because I like Walter Mate.
He's not everyone's cup of tea, but at the end of the day, I'd rather have him than Gakpo up top.
I think Walter Mate has a very similar, has somewhat of a similar game to Ekitike. That's why I like Walter Mate. And I think that what you're losing out on by not having Ekitike here is one thing, but I'd also think that, when Ekitike would return, there's going to be a period of time that he is going to need to get back to the levels that is going to be that elite level of striker, that we would like to see him get back to. But there's no guarantee that he will. I'm not saying that Walter Mate is going to be his permanent replacement, but I think Walter Mate loves Liverpool and would love the opportunity of being a part of Liverpool so much that he would take that opportunity, even if it is a recessed position of understanding his role at this team, which is to be not the starter, but to be a complementary piece. And that's, I think he would have no problem with that. He would just be happy to be able to put a Liverpool kid on.
And the thing is, it's going to be like the same situation at Newcastle. Third choice striker. Because I think Whistler's in front of him and that other lad. So right now it will be just Isaac. And Ekitike, for me, this season is not going to be really a season for him. It's going to be a season to find his feet again. So it was a major injury for Ekitike, man. Fuck. So for me, it's a no-brainer. I'd love to get a striker in as well to add to that list of all the other guys we need. So we're in a bit of a pickle there. And
Mm-hmm.
I think it's about time now with the World Cup over that I think we'll hopefully get a few things done. Realistically, we need all them positions that we were talking about earlier. But do the owners and the club know that? You know,
Yeah.
is there anyone we can sell to fund that moves that we need to make? If that means McAllister has to
To do
go,
what? Fund what move? Or
like
Barcola?
no, like Barcola, Ryan.
Oh, you mean to bring in another 200 pounds worth of forwards to our team?
Yeah, but bro, we need two wingers. It's like at the end of the day, we can use a Spanish lad and Rio. We could, no problem. But you can imagine the fans doing their head in when they don't have great games. Because the other day I was hearing about Rio, people were like sort of
Yeah.
getting into it, and I'm thinking,
Yeah.
yo. At your age,
Yeah.
what were you doing at 17? Were you running down the wing at Anfield? No, you weren't. Shut the fuck up. Like, come on,
I
man.
know.
I would never ever. I would never
Quasi
say
was
to
going
Rio,
on one.
go after him and say, "Oh, you're having a bad game." All I say for me, my sort of thing about Rio is when you've got the ball, try to pre-plan what you're going to do when you do get the ball, and what can you do when you got the ball on the edge of the box and you've got two big guys in front of you, because he's a pretty small guy because he's only young,
Mhm.
and I think he needs to be a bit more using his football brain and think, you know what? Okay, them two guys are coming out to me. Let me take them more out and let me slide the ball through to one of the guys getting into that space. So that's what's going to come the more he plays. So
Mhm.
I think fans need to chill out a little bit on youth players and give them time, and let them show us how good. You can't go after youth players. At the end of the day, they want to play good. They don't want to play for Blackpool or someone like that. They want to play for Liverpool or Real Madrid or whatever.
Mhm.
So they want to play good, bro. And we've all played football, and we've sort of messed it up sometimes. Maybe you know what I mean?
Mhm. I see. With 2 years left on contracts, JK should now be limit. Sign or go.
Yeah,
Mm.
exactly. And I think the Sabotolai one was the one that was like, okay, he looks like a Real Madrid player. His antics suit Real Madrid, and he just looks like one of them. He probably supported them as a kid because he loved Ronaldo and that. But then he signed that contract, and I was
I
like,
don't know
yo,
that.
nah, he loved
Yeah.
Ronaldo, bro. He loved him. Come on, that's what these younger generations are like now, man. They don't sport teams, they're sport players, bro. And he looked
Mhm.
like one of them guys. And he was an idol, Ronaldo, for a lot of players who are playing the game now. And
But
yeah,
it goes back to why people have said, like, people have come at me on some of the players that I support, and the good reason why I support some of the players I do is because of their persistence or their commitment to the team that I love. And what I also ration that off with is, look, teams can, especially with some of the ways that some of these teams do it, they can put you into this purgatory, where they don't play you, but they own the rights to your contract. So unless they get the money they want, they're not selling you, you know, and they'll just keep you as that asset until and you could miss out on playing football. You can miss out on playing for a team that actually needs you or could utilize you. And that's just the upper hand of cards that a club holds. Fans, supporters out there always talk about loyalty, loyalty. Whoops, loyalty. I want, this player needs to represent the badge. This player needs to be all about Liverpool. This player needs to understand the fans. This player needs to, want Liverpool as much as I love Liverpool. And yet, so often, you'll see fans ready to cut the cord on players after they have a bad game. Sometimes, maybe make a bad play. Loyalty goes two ways. Loyalty is not a one-way street. It's a two-way street. And for me, a lot of the players that have built up the the semblance of loyalty from me have been players that I've either seen go through brick walls for that badge, you know, or players that I know do love the club. Just plain and simple. I've always loved the club. Always wanted to be a part of the club, to understand what it means to be a Liverpool Red, and those things matter to me. And that's why some players I will go maybe a little bit over and above for, simply because that essence of player, or those kinds of players, are so far and in between now. Like, as in, it is so difficult to find and represent players that you can say, you could go and say, I'm gonna go get that guy's name on the back of my kit because he's gonna be a part of Liverpool for a long time to come. That just doesn't happen. And that's where, like, that connection comes for some players that I know will always love Liverpool, will always be a place for when the Legends game comes around, they will come back to represent Liverpool. They might not have been, quote unquote, a legend, a world-class player, but they're a legend to us as Liverpool supporters. Maybe for what they brought us, the glory, the moments, the memories. Those are incredibly valuable. But we live in a TikTok world where people's memories and their memory scale is only like a goldfish, and they just keep 5 minutes of, oh, well, what have you done for me lately? There have been fantastic players that will always have a place in my heart, and I will definitely go to bat for them because I believe that they would go bat for this team and this club, and that matters to me. So, all right, enough of my soapbox. Let's get back to it, because there is a player that is happy to be here, and this was somewhat of, like, I was going to say this for maybe being my Moment of Reds Zen, because they're definitely related, but Federico Chiesa has delivered a clear message, I think, about his Liverpool future. I mean, he's a player that some people were thought never should. Some people thought, oh, he never should be a Liverpool player. Some people thought he was done. Some people thought that this was just a quick hop and a jump to get back to an Italian team for him. Why that would be the case, considering he was at a very, very good Italian team, right? One of the best in the Italian league. Some people have basically been anticipating the day that the transfer of this player happens. But Fetty is happy at the club. He loves the supporters. And as far as he is concerned, the arrival of Iraola represents a new chapter. Chiesa has been widely expected to return to Serie A, like I said, after struggling to establish himself under Arne Slot, a team, or a coach, that I believe highly, highly disrespected this player. But despite showing flashes of quality, he was rarely given a sustained run in the team. Players need that run. They need some semblance of getting the ability to know that they're going to play day to day to get some type of balance in their game, some form in their game. And many supporters, like myself, believe he deserved more opportunities, particularly during periods when some of our established starters were struggling with their form. But now the situation has changed. Chiesa scored during Iraola'S first friendly, obviously. Liverpool won that game 4-2. He is attempting to prove that he can contribute within the new manager's system. And this is a quote from him. He said, "Right now, at the moment, I am happy here at Liverpool. I love the club. I love the fans. I love everything. I am doing the best I can to have a chance here, and then we will see. There is no guarantee that this player is going to stay. There's no guarantee, considering the players we've seen leave, the players that we thought were mainstays with this club. Juventus and other Serie A clubs remain interested, and Chiesa has previously spoken positively about the possibility of returning to Italy. But I think that those comments show that he is not demanding an exit. He wants an honest opportunity to compete, something that he thought he would have under Slot. I think the one reason why he stayed or wanted to stay was because I think Slot said he would have an opportunity, and he didn't.
Yeah.
He admitted that he felt ready for a bigger role last season, but accepted that the previous manager made different decisions. Instead of publicly attacking Arnie, he not acknowledged that the manager's authority is king and turned his attention towards a new start. That to me is a mature response. It's a professional response, and it's one that I am all on board for. Because I think that you've got to players that have a chip on their shoulder, players that have a point to make, are players that definitely will surprise you. And I think the most interesting detail may be how he was played against Sunderland. Iraola used him as a striker. I get that he's a winger. We all understand that. But Chiesa said he would be happy to play through the middle if that is where the manager needs him. And that flexibility could be crucial. I could see it might be a loose comparison for some, but I could see a player that I was happy to see possibly be a part of this team. I was coveting us trying to go for him in January. Obviously, we didn't, and he's now made his pledge to stay with West Ham. But I see a lot of Bowen in Chiesa, comparisons in Bowen and Chiesa in the ability to play winger, but also create a different version of a striker when they play the striker role. I think Liverpool needs depth across the forward line. Chiesa can operate on either wing. He can play behind the striker. He can play as the striker. I know his speed is not necessarily where we would all like to see it, but he's got a willingness to attack defenders. I think he's got a preference for high intensity. He is. There was a stat that most people probably didn't notice or recognize, but there was that first season that he was with us, and there was a stat that showed that in that first season when we won the Premier League, there was a stat that Chiesa had the same amount of he had the same, if not better, attacking success rate than Mohamed Salah. And I'm not talking about Mohamed Salah in that last season. I'm talking about Mohamed Salah in that title-winning season. It's an easier stat, I understand, because it's like it takes on opportunities. Mohamed Salah had an entire 38 games of opportunities. Obviously, Chiesa didn't. But I say give him preseason, test him as a striker, test him on both wings, give him some meaningful minutes with Isak and Verts. Then make the decision based on what he does out there, not what Slot wanted to do with him or what happened with him last season.
Yeah,
I honestly do think that Chiesa is a solid shout as a player that we could possibly get something out of this season. And I think he should stay. We got Nolante in the house.
Mm-hmm. Come on, bro. Nolante, bless him.
Yeah, bless up, BT. Big up, Paul. Big up the rest of the chat. Blessings, Red Armchair. Blessings, Norm. Bless up, everyone, man. Big up.
Should we keep Federico Chiesa for another season, or do we prioritize trying to get him a move? And recoup some of the. And it's not much that we paid for him, so maybe try to make a profit and utilize that for some other player. Go ahead, JK. Nolate's on mute, so go ahead.
Okay. Top pro, top personality, just a top lad, and I think the way he scored that goal the other day, the way he just ran, he made that run, is what we miss sometimes. Just a player who's sort of, what I like about Chiesa is he's a very quick thinking sort of an attacker. He isn't slow with it. He's like, he knows what he's a very quick minded type of lad. Fitness, not great, but just good to see him out there playing. We need everyone we can get right now, so I wouldn't let him go. No, there's a lot of games, and if he gets on with the manager and you then get that Arnie Slot vibe where play sub, played so good, all the fans were saying give him a start, never got that start, never seen him again for 2 months, came back, couldn't find his feet. So all that hard work Arnie Slot put into Chiesa was sort of wasted. It was a weird one. And for me, sometimes footballers need to play when they're on form. And Chiesa couldn't find that form again when he came back. So new chapter, 100%. It's a new chapter for a few players, you know what I mean? It could be even for Curtis and people like that. But how many times do we need to give players chances, you know? We never won nothing last season. And hopefully Chiesa stay fit. He looks sharper anyway. When you look at his body language and everything, he just looks like a totally different new lad. Fit, sharp. He looks thinner. He looks a bit thinner. So he's been putting the shift in this summer while the World Cup's being going on. He must have been running, training, and everything. So fair play to him, man. Bless up, Julio. Good to see you, man.
Norm thinks that at the end of the window, Iraola will decide on Chiesa. I think hey, give him a preseason, let him show you, what he can do, or if he meshes with what your plans are for this team, and make the decision then. But I think, unfortunately, for our situation, at the end of the preseason, it'll probably be way too late to make a move and try to think that we're going to bring back a player that is going to be capable of producing at least some at some level of what we got out of Chiesa. And I just think Chiesa, I'd like to see him as our new version of Shaqiri. Basically, that's how I would like to see Chiesa. Someone that can give us some real talent off the bench, and also is versatile and able to play in multiple roles for us.
Yeah.
But
look,
is that what you're thinking, Alante? Go ahead. Finish your thought, JK, and then Alante.
It didn't cost us an arm and a leg, 100 million. You know what I mean? It cost us 10 million. And I think, yeah, keep him. I'm keeping him for one more season, no problem.
Yeah, we've already by last season alone, this first season alone, we already made the money. Or we got our value out of the transfer. He signed a healthy contract with us.
Yeah, 4 year.
Yeah, no wonder they don't want to leave. No, he's a nice guy in that way, Helio. Like, for me, Liverpool Football Club, we don't invite people in who aren't nice guys. Like, when you look at every professional, all sound lads, nearly. When you look at Arsenal, you know what I mean? Not all of them are sound on that. But for me, nice guys sound. In this world, to see a nice guy playing football and being sound, it's good to see, man. But that ain't cover his football talent, you know what I mean? Yeah, of course. But he's got a bit something in him. And I wish him the best, you know?
He's making the same money at Juventus. So that's why we had to take about 150.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
he was only
Okay.
by that. Yeah. In fairness, he's one of the main players until
Mhm.
Allegri. I think was it Allegri? I think it was just decided to just switch up and just bomb
Mhm.
it out. You know,
How old is Chiesa now?
28.
He's I think he's 27, about to turn 28 actually.
28. Somehow I
So
kept thinking he's older, but he's still isn't. This is
yeah,
when he's peak,
yeah,
technically speaking.
him and Gomez are the same age. Should be peak time now
Mm,
for the both.
yeah,
Mhm.
but
Both
just
get injured quite a
injuries. That's
lot.
the thing. Yeah,
Hmm
there's a
You
lot
were
of
gutted for
there's,
Gomez. Hmm
yeah. I mean, I was, and the slander came out because I was in one of the Discord chats,
For
and
It
Red
what?
was
Cup,
rough.
Cup and Red Cup. I mean, no disrespect, you're on Brad's Discord, Irishman's Discord, and he was slagging him off, saying he's a rubbish player, he's a
Who,
disgrace every
Chiesa?
time injured. Yeah, no, oh, sorry, Joey, sorry.
Oh, Joey.
Yeah, he's injured, he's a disgrace, he's rubbish, he's an embarrassment for the club. And I just had to put him straight and just let him know. How can you say you're embarrassment, you know what I mean? Like you would
Well,
like
yeah,
which player wakes up and wants to get injured? No one,
yeah.
no
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 player,
player
player.
says,
Yeah.
yeah. No player
you
says,
know.
no player
Yeah, yeah.
puts it in their mind. I'm gonna go out there and go get injured.
Mm.
You know,
What's the
I just
latest
look
on his
at them.
injury? If you know,
they're
I
doing
have,
tests. That's the latest I saw.
look at the end
yeah,
of the day, bro. Before this season starts, or before
mm,
that game started the other day, Gomez was probably thinking, "Look, I've got an opportunity to play next season with Virgil again."
mm,
Because them two young lads, and the
mm,
manager might trust me before them two, and they're coming back from injury, and that's why I was disappointed about Gomez, because I was thinking, Gomez, stay fit, bro, and you could be playing Premier League football next season for us. And he just went down. So hopefully it's not like a major thing. It's just like a
I
week
think
or
what they're trying
so.
to do is they're trying to find out what is the reason he's getting these muscle injuries. Because it's a muscle
yeah,
injury.
yeah. It's,
So I
and
mean,
he's
like,
just. Mm.
hmm?
No, sorry, 12. Go finish your thought. Go on.
Oh no. I was just gonna say it's just a muscle injury that is frustrating, but like,
Yeah,
mm,
One of them, bro. And no player wants to get injured, as Nalante said. Hence why I wouldn't jump on any player who gets injured. Oh, they're rubbish. I ain't wasting my energy on that.
oh no, but that's the wrong with some of our fan base. They're too emotional. They get personal too quick. To
Not
shut
for
him down
me.
because I'll never get
I
personal.
mean,
I'll never
yeah,
get
that's the
personal with
problem.
any football. Yeah, so we've seen it. All of us and you guys in the chat, we've seen it. People get emotional. Oh, touch this, or look, he's injured. He's an embarrassment. He's a disgrace. How can he be a disgrace? How can you get
Because
That's
he got
a,
personal?
injured.
And
Like, what is
yeah.
that? It was. I mean, like,
just weird. I
some of these
know.
people that say
I
this
know.
stuff, I'm sitting there going, like, you must have never played a sport in your life, because the
Yeah.
sheer fact of no player ever thinks he's going to go out there and get injured. They think that you have this mentality of thinking that you are impenetrable, like as in you're going to go out there and you're never going to injury. But when it happens, and it will happen at some point for any and all players, it happens at some point. You know, it's just something that you have to accept that it happened, and accept the fact that you're going to come back from it. And I'm sure Joe Gomez has every intent to come back from this injury and be a part of this team. He's not giving up.
Yeah. That's it. And big up Norm. And Norm, you make me laugh, Norm. Norm, no, we still haven't signed Oshiman yet. But Norm, the latest is from the great mind of a certain Mr. K-Mac. Apparently, Walter Mardy's on the move. So, I don't know, Norm. So,
Mm,
I guess, again, Oshiman and
I
Walter
hope that.
Mardy.
There you go. K-Mac has a fan in it for me. I don't mind Walter.
Yeah, oh, you did. I remember he said, yeah, he did say previous talk. But just because I
For
know I
50
kind of.
for 50 million for 50 million, if 50 million is the price tag that they're
Well,
looking to
it's not
get
the worst.
for Walter,
Well, I get it. I mean,
like as in you can't you couldn't
yeah,
you can't throw a stone and hit a player that you can for a starting center forward in this football, arena that we're talking about, you would not be able to find a forward at that price. And if he comes to Liverpool for 50 million, we could make him back into a 75, 80 million pound striker if we wanted to move on from him. I think
I feel about
he
that.
could get.
Nah,
He could.
I will say, if it's 50 million, then yeah, it's worth taking a punt. Yeah, I don't think that's a no-brainer. If it's that, then yeah, because he has Premier League experience. He lost his way, but he started one. He's lost the way a bit. So the cover for Isak, because I mean, let's be honest. I think all of us can be honest here. Me, you, JK. That Isak is, if let's say Ekatike is coming back, he's going to be back in the second half of next season.
Mhm.
That's a fact. So Isak's not going to be able to play every game, 100%.
Exactly.
So,
But I reckon they're
yeah.
going to use Gapco, aren't
But
they, bro?
right, because like I'd rather
Well,
see Walter Made be given a chance to play striker than see Cody
Well,
Gakpo
need
at
to.
striker.
Yeah, simple.
Yeah.
Like, guys, and I
You
don't
just
want to. I
need
don't want to see that. Or I mean, like I just spoke about Chiesa playing striker. Is he going to play? Do I honestly want to see Chiesa as our striker? No, I don't. But I mean, like,
Yeah.
if it's like, but if it was one of those cases where we had to have someone in that role, okay, fine. I'm not going to hate on Chiesa at that role. The same way I would say the same, like, do I want to see Endo as a center half? No. But I mean, if it came down to it, I know he'll go in there and he'll do the job. I think the same for Chiesa, but the same is like, but I much rather see a player like, if Jaden Danns was healthy, I wouldn't be having this conversation. I would say, hey, let's elevate Jaden Danns to that role of being a backup on this team. Jaden Danns can't stay healthy. Okay. Uh, Chiesa is an option. I get that. But Chiesa is going to be like a Gomez option in the sense of across the front line. He's not going to be my main pick as being this, the second choice striker on this team. We need a second choice striker to be on this team. A formidable second choice striker to be on this team for an Isak who isn't exactly the picture of, impenetrability as well. Like, as in, he's got injury proneness in his career. So I'm not going to necessarily say to myself, oh, I'm going to put all my all my chips on Isak to make it an entire year. I would like to see a striker in this role. That's why I said, hey, if Nunez could come back, if we bring back Darwin, fine. For free, fantastic. Sign him up. I didn't say spend money on Nunez. I just said if he's for free, yeah, as another striker. You might not like him. You might not think he's the best striker. I'm not saying he is, but I am saying he is a choice that could be made, that could be a contributor, certainly off the bench, and certainly as a player that we know can deal with the type of that could possibly flourish in a Iraola system as opposed to a slot system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I know I kind of diverted the conversation, but back to obviously the man on your screen, the Italian stallion, Mr.
The
Federico,
Italian
the
stallion.
Italian
There you
stallion,
go.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, look, I'm like you. I think we should keep him, use him. I think he was mistreated again by Slot, harshly
Mhm.
again, on both seasons. There's games we could have used him more. He played one game, played all right. You take him out, we don't see him. And then you give him cameos, and not every cameo he's going to be able to do magic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You put
Yeah.
him for 5 minutes, it's ridiculous, it's a joke. Yes, the
Arnie
injuries
Slot.
he's smoked.
Just, I
Mm,
was real quick. I was gonna say, I'll let you. I'll
yeah,
let
yeah,
you land. I apologize for cutting you off.
yeah.
I was gonna say real quick.
No, okay.
Arnie Slot owes his job or owed his job to this man right here, Chiesa. If Chiesa doesn't make that goal, that save off the line during one of Slot's worst periods, I think Arnie Slot is fired after that game. You do remember what I'm talking about. I know you do, because a
Yeah,
lot of people were saying,
Sunderland.
why did Chiesa make that?
Sunderland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did he make that a goal clearance for this coach? It's because he doesn't care about the coach. He cares about the team. He cares about, like, just cares about playing. He's a footballer. He wants to win.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. 100%. You know? And that's what players should do. You get past it and play for the club and just come and go. Who knows, you know?
Oh,
But
yeah.
yeah, he wasn't used properly. And again, you can't. And I remember Kopish, there was something of saying, "Oh, he's not the same anymore." Yes, he's not the same because of the injuries. He's had 2 serious injuries, so he can't be the basic player. He's got some kind of running ability, of course, but he's not the same. But he's still useful. He can still, cross the ball. He can still get a goal. He can still, yeah. So for me, I hope Iraola does use him. We know he's not going to be the first name on the sheet. We get that. I hope he starts certain games. And if he does come up on the sub, not flipping 85 minutes, just bring him in earlier. So use him. Use it. And I think he could be an asset. Like you and like JK, I think he could be an asset. So yeah, man. Hopefully I mean, if he does, again, there's no guarantee. If he's here by the 31st of August or 1st of September, I hope he used accordingly, not like the way Slot and mistreated him. So, but we'll just wait and see.
Let me do this with you guys. I have a fun little thing. I don't know if Norm is still part of the chat, so don't look at the chat, okay? Don't, because if Norm is, I'm sure Norm will get all these players correct. But I saw this quiz. I took it. I will honestly admit I got 9 out of 10 simply because one of the players looked like someone else to me. But I got 9 out of 10. So yeah, I'm not perfect, and I admit it. But I want to see what you guys can do. You guys can play as a team, all right?
Cool.
And the chat can play along too. But obviously, our panel is not going to be looking at your answers. That's all. Let's see. Bring up the thing. All right. This is name these Liverpool players from the 80s, the 1980s. All right.
Okay, this is gonna be good. Okay.
All right.
Was it? How many questions is it total?
It's 10 questions.
How many did you get?
I got 9.
Okay. Oh, so fair.
I should have gotten 10. I should have gotten 10 because the person I didn't get right was. It's just because I thought it from that angle it looked something else, like someone else for a second. But all right.
Okay.
But all right. But you guys should know these probably better than me, because I know that I didn't start following this club until the 90s. You guys, obviously I do know who the players are because I do look at my history. But all right, let's do this. Ready? And there's multiple choice too, by the way.
Oh, cool.
Easy one. Start with the easy one.
Yeah.
Who was this player in the? Make sure you can see it. Can you see the? Do you want me to make the image larger?
No, I can see.
See.
Okay, cool. JK, take it away.
JK he's on mute, of course, but
okay, all right, General. I'll
dealing with
General.
he's trying to get his Smokey to help him out.
Yeah, well, General Ridge.
All right. Oh wait, let me make it make the image so you can actually see when you get it right.
Yeah, cool.
All right, John Aldridge.
Yeah.
Is correct. All right.
This is Alan Kennedy.
Yeah, Alan Kennedy. Yeah.
All right.
Is that your final answer?
Yep.
Are we together?
Okay.
Yeah,
we're together, JK. Me and you together.
Okay, good.
Together, buddy. Yeah.
Got the same birthday as John Aldridge.
The player on the right.
JK.
Ronnie Whelan.
Wheeler dealer.
Oh, bring it down a little bit. Who is this one?
Have a
Who is
look.
this young
Jan Moby, innit?
lad?
The Danish
Yeah, yeah.
maestro.
Jan.
Going with Jan? Okay.
By the way, I'm not looking
That's
at the
right.
chat. Is Norm answering the
Yeah,
question?
Norm is back, so
Oh.
that's why he's. That's what I was saying.
Good.
Yeah,
Okay.
Norm
Yeah,
is
messing
back.
with Norm. Yeah, he did
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Norm's messing with Norm. Yeah.
Oh yeah. He's gonna. He can lead him side. So
Okay, who is this player right here?
Michael Robinson.
yep.
Final
Spanish
answer?
broadcaster, La Liga.
That's correct. Who is this player right here?
Legends. The myth. The Scottish legend. Some say the
Okay.
greatest Liverpool player of all time.
Yeah.
Kenny.
All right. That is correct. Who is this player right here?
Phil Neal,
Oh,
isn't it?
Yeah, legends, yeah. Right back, so many appearances. I think he's in the top 3 all time, yeah. Legend.
Oh, yeah, he won everything.
Captain, yeah.
Who'd you say? Did you say? I know who it is, but who'd you say? Did you say Phil?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, Phil.
Yeah, that's correct. Boom. Who is this young man?
Probably an Irish defender. Had a great partnership at the back with Mr. One Alan Hansen. That's Mr. Mark Lawrenson, aka Football Focus.
That would be correct. And finally, last one. Oh no, you got two more. Who is this right here?
This is the Scotsman. Yeah, you know the Scottish player.
Top lad. Lesby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I met him.
Correct.
Oh yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah, I met a few of them, like Steve Grizovich. Met him. Yeah.
And finally, who is this right here?
Oh, wow. That's a bit of a tricky one. It ain't Jeff
It's not Jim
Beglin.
Beglin. Definitely not.
I think it's Irving, isn't it?
Origin.
We need a bit of help from the panel now, from the chat.
No, you can't go to chat. You can't go to the chat.
Okay.
It's definitely not
I think
Beglin.
it's
We both know
Irving.
that. Or was it Murney? Let's go. Let's go with Irving. Let's go with Irving. We'll go with that.
Irwin?
Could be Murney. Yeah.
Not Dennis, but Colin.
Richard Murray.
12 trying to suspense it up, and he thought.
Mm-hmm.
It was to be really edgy.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if I have that. I don't have that sound. I definitely get. I don't know. I've heard this one guy play that song. I know he doesn't have the rights to play it.
Yeah.
But he doesn't get. He doesn't get. But anyway, who do you think it is? Is it Richard or Colin? Because it's not.
Colin.
It's not Jim. I'll give that hint. Going with Colin. That would be correct.
There you go. Got them all right, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah, 100%.
You guys are
that's
boss. Of course.
There you go.
There you
Yeah,
go, bro.
stuff.
We're not
Yeah,
fake fans.
100%.
exactly.
Real Liverpool fans wouldn't have known that. Like all the lads in the chat,
Yeah.
will. They're proper Liverpool fans. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely, mate. I tell you what, yeah, that's why I did look, because no one was just probably rattling him out within 10 seconds.
That was a
But
good
there
quiz.
you
I
have
like them type of quizzes.
Yeah, doing it. Yeah, take you back. Yeah,
Take you back, bring you back to some memories from some of those lads, I'm sure. I will tell you this much. It's funny. I saw a you know how they do those little clips where they, interview some of the players and the likes, and they're asking them like, how many miles is it from Liverpool to Chicago, and they were trying to like ask all the questions around these people, right? And it was funny. They came up to Kirkez and they're like, "Can we ask you a question?" And he says, and he goes, surely. What is it, lad? And I was like, what is it, lad? Wow. Scouse is really rubbing off on Kirk. I like it. He said lad. I was like, it's been he's never said lad in his life until like recently.
All of a sudden he's saying it.
Yeah, it's just like it's kind of
That's
like
another player. It would be good to see how Iraola and him get on, and let's get back to like why we signed him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mobley was Scouse accent. Like, where'd you get that Scouse accent? You're from
Denmark.
The finger countries. Yeah, Denmark.
You would never get a big lad like that playing football ever again. Because like in them days, it was more to do with the talent and the skill, and now it's more to do with athleticism, 6-packs, 8-packs, whatever you want to call them. But we am always probably better than majority of these players who have played the game in the last 10 years. These robotic footballers, you know what I mean, bro?
Yeah, he had an interesting build for a football player too. To be honest with you,
big time. I never really seen a player like him who was that big, and you're like, what? He's on a pitch? Wow. You know, so fair play to him.
For what you got from him. Yeah, he had a unique style about him. Yeah, you pick it up, I guess. You do. It rubs off on you.
It's a totally different accent to any other accent in England. It's totally different, man.
Yeah, it is. It totally is. All right. Well, that brings us to the end of the show today. I hope that you enjoyed the little moment of Reds in there. I guess Joe Gomez's injury definitely exposes a need of bringing in someone to provide coverage at center back. But I think the return of Isak, Wirtz, and Gravenberch is a welcome return. I'm excited to see what they're going to do against Wrexham. Hey, I will not hold it against Wrexham to try to make. I'm sure Ryan Reynolds and
Reynolds.
Yeah.
But
Reynolds,
Bert's getting into football. I've never heard of anyone else's name called Bert. My whole life but him.
Rob McKenney, right? He plays in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. But Ryan Reynolds and Rob McKenney, I think I want to say Rob McKenney is from Philadelphia. I want to say, but I think he's actually from Philadelphia, but he might not be. But all the same, I bet you Wrexham are going to come out and they are going to try to win. They'll want to win against Liverpool. So it's not going to be anything held back in that game. We ranked, or I gave you my rankings. If you want to, well, I think JK gave his preferred choice. He didn't give his I was going to say Lalonte can give us his rankings, but he's back. If you want to do real quick, who's your top 5 choices for vice captain? If you want to do that.
Bert's and son.
Lalonte. Yeah, Lalonte. Or if you want to just give us who you think is going to be our next vice captain, you can do that too. Either or. I know you didn't get a chance to do that.
You got Lalonte.
Maybe not. He's on.
Oh, sorry.
The vice captain, bro. Who's your choice?
Who's your choice for vice captain? Let's put it that way. I think 5.
Oh, 5? What, 5 players? Who my choices for vice captain?
Oh, I gave a top 5 for. Here, I can show you my top 5. You can see them actually.
Okay.
That was my top 5.
That's the top 5.
Vice captains.
Okay.
As candidates.
Yeah, Bud McAllister. Yeah, those 4 and the 5th one. Who would be my 5th one? Who would be my 5th 1. Grav.
Mhm.
What's the second shout? Someone else gave a shout for Grav.
I was going to say it as well earlier for my troll
I don't,
selection
I
one.
don't see Grav as being a. I don't see Grav as like
He's a bit of
leader
a quiet
on this team
lad.
for some reason.
You know what I mean?
He's quiet. Yeah, he
He's
seems like
quiet.
very quiet, and
He's
like,
a
you
nice
don't
lad.
really
He's a good lad.
often. Yeah, he's certainly a nice lad. I mean, like, but I just don't see him. He's not one of those
Captain
like.
material.
I mean, even
Yeah.
I mean, Ali's not exactly the most like brilliant speaker when it comes to English, but then again, he'll get in front of a camera and talk. So I mean, like.
His English is pretty good for a Brazilian because I've realised
Oh
over
no,
the years
it's good
Brazilians
if
find it
considering that's not
pretty
his
difficult.
first. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
his first language. Yeah.
Like Bobby, he couldn't really speak that good English.
No.
Fabinho, but later on I realised Fabinho's English got real good. Like, yeah, I heard an interview with him recently and he's like, oh wow, his English got good. No, but for me, Allison is a good choice, but I think Szoboszlai is going to be the most logical one. After signing that contract, they probably promised him the vice captaincy, bro, in that contract. Listen, lad, you sign up, we give you the vice captaincy. All right. You know what I mean?
Cody's on that list because Cody is, you might not think of it, but Cody is, and one, Cody was the captain of PSV when he was at that team. So it's not like he doesn't have the ability to be a captain. And two, he's definitely a leader in the locker room. Like, as in, he's all about giving out Bible scriptures and Bible quotes and all that stuff. So he's always like involved somehow, trying to be positive and uplifting to people in the locker room. So, and for those that think he goes, sometimes missing on the pitch, you can't go missing on the pitch as a captain. You've got a responsibility of setting a precedent. And for the same reasons why I saw Norm say about Grav, maybe giving him the armband maybe giving him that responsibility makes him step up his attention to detail and his attention to being, another level. The same for Cody. I mean, Cody wouldn't. I don't think Cody takes off as much as people say he does, but I just think that he would maybe look at it as not only a role, but I think he would look at it as a responsibility that he has to like be at a different level as a captain of this team, or as a vice captain at least, but still you're a captain and all the same. We obviously spoke about Chiesa and how he's made Liverpool his clear decision to be his home, which is fantastic. Who said that the pasta isn't good in Italy, in Liverpool? I don't know whoever said that. I don't know. Just other than that, I think that's about all. I gave out my picks. What was your real quick? Yeah, I'll go another 3 minutes, 2 minutes, if that. Let me see if I can get. I still have it open. So, I know you gave your picks to Brian. What was you gave your 11? You starting 11, I think. Let me do this. Okay. Who was your starting 11? Just so I can get an idea of who it was.
Alisson in goal, of course. And then I went Kirkes, Virgil, that lad from PSG, the centre back.
Oh, you have this is you getting your dream, not dream, but you getting acquisitions.
The signings. Yeah. Or we can go with what we've already got. So that means Gravenberch centre back.
But so I'm trying to get his post name. Here it is.
The Barney, yeah.
And then who else?
And then right back.
Yeah, Ramsey.
I'll go Reed. You know that Reed lad from Holland.
Harrison Reed.
Isn't Harrison? It's
It's begins with G, like Giovanni
it's,
or Giovanni or something like that. Read.
it's READ,
Oh,
bro. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, READ. Yeah,
I don't remember this one, Giovanni.
Guevara. Yeah.
There's two N's in Giovanni, I think.
It's Guevara.
Oh no, it's Givardi.
Peter Reed.
Yeah, that's it.
Get Peter Reed in there.
And then
I'm sure, Norman. I heard Peter Reed was a Liverpool fan. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he was. He was
wasn't
a
he?
Liverpool fan. Yeah.
Mad.
Yeah.
okay,
so
go ahead.
We got Reed there. Okay, that's cool. And then let's go Naomi and Sabotslai together sitting.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm going all out.
you're going all out. I like it. I want to say, I don't think there's anyone that's spoken about Trainioni more than maybe like you two, other than myself. Maybe it's interesting how people are really getting on that bandwagon.
And then I'll go on the right wing. I'll go that lad from Bournemouth, the Brazilian, Ryan. Yeah.
Oh, Ryan.
Yeah.
Jeez, how much money are you spending, bro?
A little bit of that.
I mean,
that thing you said in the group chat that was it transfer builder or whatever. To just get that out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I might as well. Who else? Who else are you doing? I don't even know that. I wonder if that link is still active. Who else?
I'm going with that. Yeah.
And then Barcola. So you have Ryan and Barcola, and then you have Isak at the top, and then you have Neoni and Dom in the middle. So you have, let's just try to calculate some of this. You have 100, 200, and probably about I think they want 50 for Zabarny. I don't know how much Reed will be. He'd probably be like 30 million, 40 million, something like that, right? So you want to spend over 300 million?
No. Reed is about 25 million.
Right.
Zabani, could we get him on a free? I'm not sure.
No, you can't get him on a free. He's not. He signed for another 3 years, 2-3 years with PSG.
Okay, if we get him for another 25, that'd be cool. Say 30.
They won't part ways with him unless it's for 50 million at least.
Oh damn. Well, at the end of the day, we need a defensive centre back, so that's cool. We'll go there. 75 million for them too, and then you got Ryan and Barcola.
I only know that because Zabarny is like about the same price as what was quoted to be for Bastoni. And Bastoni is like 55 million pounds. That's what Inter want for him. So,
but I like that team.
That's all I want to say.
It's fresh. It's different. Look at that right side, bro. Reed and Ryan. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Oops, that's why I want like that.
I changed it the other day with Brian. I had what's his name? Liao from AC Milan on the left instead of Barcola, and I put Barcola on the right, I think, if I can remember. But I like that Fernandez lad. I like that Fernandez lad who went to Tottenham. That's my team. I think
that's your team. I know it's your team. Your team. You're sticking with it. I know. It's definitely. I don't know if you're going to get 300 million to spend, but or 250 million at least. Because that's how much this will cost. Probably it will cost at least 250. Because Ryan is 100 some odd million. Barcola is going to be 100 million, or around there, and then Zabarny and Reed.
Straight.
Yeah. What is the? I mean, they're talking about 100. They say I thought there was 130 million is what they're asking for, or something like that, right? For Barcola.
Yeah, that Barcola one's getting steep, bro. Every day it's got up a bit more. So I'm a bit cautious with that one. I don't really want to spend that much on him. He's like,
Nico
for me, he
Williams.
isn't world class. He isn't smashed
Exactly.
it. He's a good player, but he ain't worth fucking that
Exactly.
much. Come on.
Exactly, Jay. It's spot on. People are just overrating the guy, man. I mean, he's a good player, but I mean, come on, man. 145 million. Hell no.
No,
The
I'm not
amount
doing
I
that.
wanted, but not for
Same.
100 something mil. Yeah. The
No,
amount I
I
want,
took
but not for
worse.
100 mil. Hell no. I'm sorry.
Hell
I
no.
said the exact same.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Yeah.
I was gonna.
No way. No.
What is it? Real quick. Give us yours, Alante. Give us your team. I showed. The reason I'm asking is because I showed the team that I wouldn't mind seeing start the season with earlier in the show. I'll share mine after you guys are done again.
Okay. So this is council building, money to spend. So
You
I'll
can
keep
spend.
Ali.
Yeah, you can spend money.
Just that is instead of Reed, I'll have KOD, the Brentford right back. KOD. I'll have him.
How do you spell
Okay.
it? How do you spell it?
KAY.
Kayude, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Centre back. We need a centre back, innit? You know what? I'll keep Sabiri. I'll keep him anyway. I'll just keep him for now. The two. Graph.
The reason why I picked that Zaberi and Ryan is because they both work with the manager already. So there's no let's get to know each other sort of period. It's like bang straight, let's get on with it.
No,
I just wanted to add
You have to
that.
justify it to me. Yeah, they're your picks.
Exactly. Fair enough. You know what? I'll take off Barcola and I'll flip it, man. Damn. You know what, Nico Williams, Nico. I mean, you can play left or right. Yeah.
You guys,
I want him. Yeah.
you guys are funny.
I chose him on Brian the other day.
He's under hundreds. He's release calls is 77 mil. That's a no-brainer. 23-year-old.
Yeah, Williams is good.
On the right, say it, man. Say it. You know what? Here, Morrison.
What? Yeah.
Kieran Morrison.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's shop the wall there.
Okay. For here.
Yeah.
Good player.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Clinton Morrison. I like Clinton Morrison though. When he comes on Sky Sports,
just type in. Yeah, type in Morrison.
So I did. I didn't see anything pop up. Let me see.
Nothing pop up. No.
Let me try again. I know I spell his name.
Yeah.
Here it is.
There we go. Yeah. And yeah, that's it. We'll leave it as that.
Guys, so let me make sure this is your squad. All right. Interesting. Let me take a screenshot of that.
Yeah.
And that thing. All right. Cool.
You know what? I'm gonna change my guy Barcola for Williams as well. I have to.
You have been up and up. You have been talking about Williams.
I do like Williams. I just feel the price what Melanta just said. He's fast on the ball, you know. Like for me, the Barcola price is a major thing. They're just trying to make an earner on us, and I don't really want to fall for that one. He's good, but he ain't that good.
Yeah.
So Williams, yeah. So I'll swap my player for Williams, Barcola. Then you got Williams and Ryan on each side. Boom. Let's go.
All in, trust me. Then Williams will get better in terms of goal scoring. That's one thing he needs to prove from Barcola is a better goal scorer than Williams, even though he's erratic. But Williams gives you more. Got better
does.
delivery. Yeah, it gives you more.
He makes 200 and well, he actually makes a little more than that. Actually, hold on.
He makes about 300, I think.
Yeah, he makes
He's
about
on a good
300.
whack. He's on a good
He's
wage.
on, yeah.
What?
330.
Huh? I know.
Yeah.
What? About.
130. Yeah, so he makes oops, 30. He makes about 285,000 pounds. About that. So
That's sound.
280. So you're gonna pay him 300,000 pounds? Just
Yeah, it's a
wondering.
bit mad. But look, the money we save on the fee, so the Barcola fee is going to be 130, let's say. I'd rather just get Williams and pay him that wage.
Yeah.
It's like that, isn't it? It's one of them ones, bro. I'm not sure exactly the figure on his buyout clause. Is it in euros? Nolante 70, was it?
No, he's right. He is right. It's 77 million.
Euros.
No, it's 90 million. 90 million euros.
Okay,
90 to
77 million.
92. It's It
Everything's
says
getting
Nico
fucking
Williams has a release
expensive.
clause valued at approximately 90 to 100 million euros. So 77 million is about like where you probably see it. It's not bad. Nico Williams is a would be power and pace.
Like Bacola, like me normally concerns me. I just feel they're just using him to make an earner, and he wasn't. Like he did play a few like league games and this, that, and the other. But when it's a Champions League final, you know, it's Doué, Kvaratskhelia, and Dembele behind Mbappe, behind whoever's playing up top. You know, it isn't Barcola starting games, so. He's a good player, don't get me wrong, but let's not get silly with the price.
Yeah.
I think, you know, a lot of football team fans, they don't give a damn. Yeah, spend it, we don't care. It's not our money and all that crap. I just don't want to be embarrassed of paying over the top fees. So everyone's ready to jump on you. You wasted 150 million there. You got ripped off anyway. You know, all that crap that comes with it. So for me, do be smart. If Williams makes more sense, and that Ryan lad, for me, who's worked with the manager already, if they're your two options, because we don't know what Ryan's going to do next season. Imagine he bags 20 goals in from the right wing.
Yeah.
Okay, you're paying 180 million now. So it's one of them ones. So if the manager knows him very well and says, you know what, this guy's the bee's knees, get him in. I think they'll be working on it. That's my opinion, because he's a right winger, and we know we need a right winger. So I'm thinking if that Brazilian lad is the bee's knees, I think the manager would have already talked about it with the owners and stuff, whoever is involved.
Okay.
Yeah, I buy that. Yeah, I mean, too, but I just feel like we're just not doing our own due diligence. We're just picking up on Bournemouth scrap, or not say scraps, but just picking up on Bournemouth's did work. We're just jumping on the bandwagon, and it's so good, but I just feel uncomfortable paying 100+ million for an 18-year-old just for 6 months good work, regardless if Iraola knows him. Now, the World Cup, I saw him, and he was average. I mean, he done all
Yeah, he's
right. Well,
average.
yeah, he's average. So, like I
The
said,
whole team was.
yeah. I mean, listen, he could turn out good, and if that's what he wants, that's what he wants today. If he does, and we don't really do, I'll support him. But I don't know, man. I'm just a bit concerned with the way we're going about these things, really. You know.
Yeah, but if we start with the Williams, Ryan, Isaac, with the words behind next season, I'm happy. Let's just leave it as that, I reckon. Would you guys be happy with that? Williams, Ryan, words behind Isaac? Ooh, that can work.
Yeah, that's true. To be fair.
Because what we got right now isn't going to give us that. Because we've got Gapco, We've got
Cody.
that Spanish lad and Rio. That's it.
Munoz. Yeah.
And
We don't know
Chiesa,
how
one
many.
at that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, according to certain people on DR Sports, we're finishing outside the top 6. People writing us up already.
Really?
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
video you showed. Yeah. Arsenal fans,
Yeah.
bro. Come on, Arsenal. I don't know what planet they're from.
Yeah.
I don't know what they've been watching the last 30 odd years, or in their whole history. Never won a Champions League. We've won 6 of them. It's like we're the most successful team in the world, and I think sometimes we need to act like that. I think because of the way Man City and Chelsea have spent the money, they walk around not really arrogant and all that. Liverpool supporters are down to earth anyway. We're the best team in England. Like, we need to wake up and realise that sometimes. Sometimes I think, are we supporting Arsenal or Tottenham? It's Liverpool, man. Most league title. Look, out of all the 4 cups, we're the leaders in 3 leagues, Champions Leagues, and league cups. FA Cup's the only one that we're not the leaders in. Come on, bro. You can't get better than that, really, unless you got the FA Cup leader table. Good club, top club. We just need to get this right now because this is an important chapter. This is for me, the Klopp, after the Klopp era sort of thing. I think Slot came in, did a Brendan Rodgers, got the league title, not like Brendan didn't, and then let's move on to the next chapter now. And I think this Iraola lad, it looks like a deep brother. So hopefully, if he's serious about it, he's only signed a 2-year contract. But get the guys in who are going to work for you. Because I think if we start the season with what we've got already, it isn't going to be enough. And that's bad after spending $500,000 last season. But a lot of people are left. Big earners, Salah, Robertson, Kanate, all these lads are gone. So we need to fill them spots up, man. Yeah.
All right. Well, people saw my lineup. If you have a different lineup, definitely put it in the comment section at the end of the show.
I never seen yours, bro.
My starting lineup for next season.
Yeah, if you got it, whack it up. I'll quick look.
Yeah, I can pull it up here.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick to Ryan and Williams as my 2 favorite, like my choices as wingers now. I ain't gonna change it. Okay, what we got here? Okay,
my lineup is.
Okay,
this is your lineup 12. Okay.
This is the Save Money FSG team.
You keep it funny, bro.
They had a great word with 12 pounds. So listen, Brad.
Yeah.
Pull out
John W said, we ain't behind. He said, John W said, we bought you that jet and a yacht.
You know what I mean? We got you that jet, and all the rest of you want Messi. You want Messi and Ronaldo on the wings.
Yeah. He said, you already paid you got your G6 money. You ain't getting no more.
Bro, when you look at that team, we've got all them mans there, so you ain't really bought anyone.
I didn't buy anyone. This is the team. Yeah. I just went off I didn't go off of buying players.
Style.
I just went off of players. No, originally the concept was just off the players that we have now.
Okay.
If this is the team that we're going to go into into the starting or into the season with, who in this team starts for you. And I think that I still think that this team can compete. I don't think that we have depth. We don't have incredible depth behind it. That's something I agree with. But I mean, Connor Bradley's got to get back from injury, and I like Ramsey, by the way. I'm hoping Ramsey gets an opportunity. Ramsey had an assist in that game, actually in Sunderland. He showed that he's got something to play for. Simicast is Simicast. I get that on the left side, but I mean the center half roles is something I want to see improve. But I think Jeremy Jacquet is going to impress people this season. He's going to definitely be impressive this season. I like Munoz. I think that Munoz I think Munoz could possibly give us what a lot of people were asking for from Gordon, as in people that were trying to get Gordon to this team. I think that you can get that same type of player
Munoz.
profile from Munoz. But the difference,
Yeah,
one of the
that's
major differences is that Munoz is set to be a presser. That's what he does. He's like all about counter pressing. He's all about, presenting the press, playing defense, using his pace. He's one of the, if not one of the fastest players from La Liga, last season. I think it's going to be, I think it's going to be fantastic to have him. And there's not many ways you get Dominic Szoboszlai confidently in this lineup, I think personally. He can play the pivot. He's not playing. Either you're pushing Wirtz onto the left wing, which I don't want to see Wirtz start left wing, because Wirtz doesn't have like pace and power as people put it. He's certainly I'm not saying he's slow, but I'm not saying he's not rapid. So we have some rapid players on the left side. We can get that from Rio. We can get that from Munoz. Okay, I don't think Cody's rapid, but I'm just saying we can get that from them. If we want versatility. If we want versatility in the left wing, we can always bring in Gakpo for, a change of pace or a change of direction when it comes to that role. But Munoz and Rio, I think, could be our role players on that left side. Dominic Szoboszlai, he's got endurance for days. He's got pressing. The difference is this lineup could relieve, because we're putting a lot of emphasis on Isak and Wirtz being able to press. Wirtz can press, I know that. He's done it at Leverkusen. Isak is still a question to be shown. But I think that if you had two very, very versatile, fast, and very, a lot endurance laden wingers in Dom and Munoz, you could get a spell out of them. You can get some results. And I think that would be phenomenal to be forward of our press, be able to track back and play defense. Both of them can do that, and they can cover for Kerkez and Frimpong, who once again, hopefully can bring some type of, resurgence of our fullbacks being capable of bombing forward and getting us some real ability to create space. I just want to create space I want wide players to be able to create space for Isak and Wirtz, because I want Wirtz and Isak to create that El Nino and Gerard connection, in our front line. That's at least what I would like to see. Now again, I didn't go with transfers. You guys saw my transfer list when I did that Redman thing, but but I honestly think that I would like to see this. I've been wanting to see Dom play right wing since the year that Mo Salah went to AFCON. It would look like we didn't have a right wing or anyone to play right wing at that time. Dominic Szoboszlai was most likely going to be that guy. He'd even been experimented once or twice on the left wing in a League Cup game for us. And I was like, I would like to see him as a right winger. I'm cool with that, because you're going to get, it's not your traditional winger. I get that, but he can play that role. And also you would get the commitment, the energy, the pace, the ability to score. It would be very similar to the ask that you would do from that we did with Mane, in the sense of a player that would track back and help out in defense, and that's enormous. Something that we don't get from Salah, because Salah would often poach a little bit and be that early outlet. With Dom, he's got enough energy to go, up and down that pitch, left and right all day. So,
fair play. That's cool. A nice one, Helio, with that news there. Did you see that Plattenberg and that other lad, Fabrizio, having a little argument?
Yeah, they're all saying that we're prepared to make I did see that Barcola's picked us as being his top choice, that they're committed to The terms that he wants are terms that we're accepting of. It's just a matter of PSG accepting the terms of the price tag.
So. That's it. That's what it's all about, this deal, for me as well. And that's why I'm a bit sort of worried. I don't want to be overspending on it. He's good, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's one of them ones.
We will see. We will see what happens. But people, we're at almost 3 hours of a show. I was only going 2 hours, but we got into 3. So you guys got definitely a lot of extra time, but you guys are worth it because you guys held strong with the numbers in the chat. So I appreciate you rocking with us. I appreciate obviously our panel being here. Obviously, big up to Nolante, big up to JK.
Bless up, bro.
Yeah, man. And shout out to the OGs and shout out to the newbies for the channel. Let's keep the momentum going, and let's definitely get to that 1K status and keep pushing on. Start pushing those numbers to even higher levels as well. So, anything you guys want to talk about or say to the chat before we bounce?
Yeah, sorted, bro. Nice one, Nolante. You can start, bro.
Cool. Big up everyone. Big up Norm. You know, Norm. I'm in the same mindset as you, Norm. Oshiman. Big up Norm as always.
Came up, player manager.
Too funny, man. Too funny. Big up everyone. And Norm, if you can speak to some of your contacts, I'm trying to go to some. I need to sort someone out some tickets for next season. I'll speak to JK. If you can find out anyone with good accountability for tickets, let me know. Or if it's the website, let me know. Norm. But yeah, big up Red Armchair. Everyone else. And just the last thing I say before Jay says the Knights and 12 is that apparently, guys, by Chelsea and Man United fans, we're not going to finish in the top 6 next season. This is great.
Oh,
this is great.
And Arsenal are bigger than Liverpool, I've heard.
Yes, indeed.
That's great. I love it. Let them think that.
Yeah.
We're the underdog.
They always look at us. Have you noticed every club looks at us and says, because they know we're the greatest. And that's great, man. You know, that's the best. For me, bless up the chat as always. Helio, Red Armchair, Norman, Lee Wiskid, everyone else who's there. Nice one. Press the like on the video as well. That'd be cool. And let's grow everyone's channels. You know what I mean? So Liverpool fan base is the biggest. You know, come on. And bless up to 12 man to organising the show. Nice one, bro.
Yeah.
Big up to you guys. We will see you all tomorrow. Unless there's some news. Usually, what I do is
I think there's going to be some news.
Okay,
tomorrow.
well, if there's news worth reporting, then we will do that. If not, then I have another show in mind for tomorrow, which is kind of like just a fun show. So I'm not saying these aren't fun shows, just saying meaning like, you know, not it's one of those like participation shows where we do like a tier or something like that, you know, the ranking style stuff. So we'll see. I'll get I'm sure when morning comes, I'll have the news in front of me and I will decide on what to do. But until then, thank you. Hope to see you tomorrow. I wish you guys all the best. Everything. Is Brian still alive?
No, he's there in the chat.
He's finished. He's
yeah. Okay. I was gonna say if Brian's still alive, I was gonna send people there. Okay. All right, and shout out to everyone, and we will see you tomorrow. All right. Until then, as always, up the Reds and take care.